Hey, welcome everyone. It's time for this week's midweek medicine. It's a pleasure to be back before you. We've been missing a few of our midweek medicines due to a family health issue that we had with our youngest daughter, Zoe, and she is home now, doing well. God is healing and doing the work in her. And I just want to take this time to give thanks and gratitude to those who came alongside of us in prayer and support during this last month period. And I am grateful and thankful for you and for your support as well, from our immediate family to church family to ministry family to friends and colleagues at work and just all of the support, sometimes overwhelming, but we are gracious and thankful for you and for it, and just continue to pray with us that God could just bring her to a full recovery, and she will be a light to those in her testimony of the greatness that God has done in her life. So it's a pleasure to be back, and we are rocking and rolling once again. So let's get your Bible out, get your phone or tablet, whatever you're using to go into the Word, and let's minister some medicine for our soul this week in our midweek message. Let's start out in Luke, the 22nd chapter, verse 31, as I use this text for our Sunday message, talking about faith fail not. As we go through life circumstances and situations and the things that we face, an attack against your faith to see if you will be separated from God or go away from God, or will you draw near to Him. As we've experienced this last month of drawing near to God in real life situations, the things that you pray for others about, the things that you help others through. But what happens when it's your turn to go through those situations and those obstacles or those hardships or those struggles? What is your response in faith for the things that you go through? Let's look back at Luke, the 22nd chapter, verse 31, and let's talk about it in this week's midweek medicine. Verse 31, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But Jesus said in verse 31 and 32, but I have prayed for you that your faith fail not. And when you are converted, when it turns around for you, strengthen your brother. So in this week's message, I want to talk about this word here as we go through these situations. So look at what we're faced up against. Peter, he says, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you to sift you as wheat. So we know now he says Simon, Simon, Peter's name, but he's speaking to us all that at times in our lives and seasons and events that we go through and circumstances that we deal with, there's times when Satan will come against us to attack us. And what we learned from Sunday is the word Satan means accuser of the brethren, or accuser, or it also means adversity. So I just want to pull out just what he comes. He comes to bring adverse against you because he is the adversary. He brings opposition against you. He brings challenges against you. He brings hardship against you. He brings sicknesses against you. As we learned Sunday, the woman that was bound with the infirmity for 12 years, 18 years, one of those. But Jesus said, woman, you are loose. But as the Pharisees and the Sadducees were coming against him because it was the Sabbath day that he did this healing, his response to them was, this is a daughter of Abraham that Satan has bound. So who put the infirmity on her? Satan. So therefore, this was an adversity that was put on her by Satan, but Jesus delivered her from it. So now we have access to the Father for deliverance from those things that Satan will come to bind us with, But what is our response? Jesus is saying we should respond to the adversity in faith or by faith. So let's talk about this adversity. In doing so, let's just look at a definition, or let's just bring defining measures to it and see it out in its fullness. Adversity is when we encounter difficult or unfavorable circumstances. Do you have some of those in your life at this moment? Are you facing something that is difficult or unfavorable, that brings challenges to your comfort zone? This is, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I know it's been a few weeks, so I got a lot bottled up that I want to get out. But it's what you're going through trying to get you out of your comfort zone. It's what you're going through trying to build strength in you. Or it's what you're going through trying to get you to progress to the next stage or progress to the next level. Or two things that can happen. It's going to either cause you to progress forward, or it's going to cause you to progress backward. It's going to cause you to gain strength, or it's going to cause you to lose strength. It's going to cause you to get out of your comfort zone, or it's going to cause you to crumble in your comfort zone. But the adverse situation that is difficult or unfavorable has a job that it's trying to do. And God, I know the question that we have a lot, why does God allow these adversities? Why does God allow? Look, you do have an adversary, the devil, who is coming to steal, to kill, and to destroy. His whole purpose is to seek whom he may devour. He was a murderer from the beginning. It is his nature. It is what he sets out to do. And he wants to destroy. When Adam sinned in the garden, he allowed sin into the world, and then death came by sin. So because of one man's disobedience, we deal with this. Adam had an adversary in the garden that he yielded to. And because of him yielding to the disobedience, we now deal with the adversity that he faced with. Look at John the 16th chapter, verse 33. Jesus is telling his disciples, these things have I spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So Jesus came and took upon sin for us who knew no sin, but became sin, that we may become the righteousness of God in him. So now watch this. This doesn't exempt us from the trial, but it gives us the strength to go. He said, I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. So therefore, my mindset has to be on where my strength is coming from. I may not have that strength in myself, but through Christ, I can do all things. Look at Job, the 14th chapter, verse 1. Job says, man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. We are born into the trouble. We are born into things happen that you can't understand. Some things that you don't have control over. We try to scratch our head. We try to understand. We ask why and all of these things. But what is your response to the adversity, knowing that God is in control? God is still the same yesterday, today, and forever. I know at times we want to question him on why, but my faith response is not questioning him, but trusting him, that he knows the end from the beginning, and that he is for me and not against me, that he is going to bring you through no matter what the circumstance. God is not asking what the circumstance is. He's not asking what the situation is. He says, I still can work this together for your good, because he'll use that thing that's adverse to you to bring you to a place of victory. But your victory is through the adversity, not around it, not above it, or not beneath it. But you have to go through it to get to the victory that he is calling you to. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, but we are not. If you look at the hall of faith, the Hebrew boys had to go through the fiery furnace. Those that are in the faith that they did these things by faith, they had to go through that adverse situation to get to the promises that God had for them. So adversity, listen to this. Adversity is not just about the problem itself. So you have the circumstances as if we look back at the definition of it. You have the difficulty, and that difficulty will bring an unfavorable circumstance that will bring a challenge that's going to challenge your comfort zone, challenges your strength, and challenges your progress. So therefore, these things are the problems that you're facing. But watch this. All of this comes for what purpose? So therefore, it's not just about the problem. Look what the problem is bringing forward. We have the unfavorable circumstance, we have the challenge, but if it's not about the problem, watch this. It's about the pressure. So when we look at what Satan, the adversary, he is bringing pressure to get you to go away from God, and God uses that same pressure to draw you to him, to show the adversary that you are not going to quit, you're going to grow. Come on, I want you to say that with me. I'm not going to quit, I'm going to grow. This hasn't come to destroy me, this has come to make me better. Everything about our life is about growth. From birth until you are deceased from this earth, your life is about growing. Are you growing? Are you at the same place you were last year? This year, you're not growing. It's to bring progress. Are you making progress? Look at the last few months of your life. Look at the last year. Are you making progress? Are you still, new circumstances and situations come that you face. Are you still crumbling over the situation that you should have grown past? Are you still beating yourself up about things you should have been let go? Are you still allowing yourself to be the fool after you done been the fool the first time? You allowing yourself to be the fool the second time? Then that means you're not growing. The adversity is coming to teach you the lesson, but you're telling the adversity, I don't want to learn it because it's going to force me to grow. So it's about the pressure it places on you that's going to cause you to either quit or grow. See, this one is easy. It's easy to quit. See, a lot of us won't even try because we don't want to grow. So I would say that not trying is still quitting. You can't even get to the point to quit because you don't even want to start the thing. You don't even want, and then look, some of you quit and say, see, I told you it don't work, so therefore I quit. No, it's causing you to grow in areas that you're not comfortable with. It's outside of your comfort zone, it's outside of your strength, and it's outside of the progress that you're with. See, progress when you're lifting weights, in order to get progress, there has to be some resistance. That resistance is going to bring pain. That pain is shaping muscles that hadn't been used before. So when you're getting into situations that you haven't seen before, that are hardships or difficulties, it's causing you to use muscles that you hadn't used before, and all that is doing is causing you to grow in areas that you hadn't grown before. And if God is trying to strengthen your faith and strengthen you, these things come and he uses them to bring you to another level. So watch what the enemy is coming to do. Let's go back to verse 31, I think it is. Satan has a desire to have you that he may sift you as wheat. So when we go back to the biblical times and see the sifting, they will put the wheat in this sifter, and it takes a violent shaking. You're trying to separate the wheat from the chaff or the chaff or whatever you call it. You're trying to separate the bad stuff from the good stuff. Let's make it simple. And in order to do so, there has to be a shaking. There has create a disturbance to cause the separation. See, anytime God is trying to separate you from something that he know is not you, he got to agitate the situation. He has to frustrate you, and he has to cause you to look at it and say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I am not going to allow this thing to hold me back anymore. I'm making a move forward. And when you come to that light, when you come to that understanding, you are ready for purpose to be seen in your life. Watch this. Let's move forward. Oh man, I miss y'all. We either going to quit or you're going to grow, right? Now, I've used this passage before, and it's a passage that just stirred in my spirit, and then just kind of a wake-up call. And I want to give you that passage before today in this midweek medicine. Go back and read it, study it, look at it, and let it prick you as it pricked me in my spirit, or in my soul. From my spirit man, in my inner man, I mean to my inner being. He says, if you faint in the day of adversity, that means your strength is small. So if I have to get my strength up, I know I can do all things through Christ. Who can do it? I can. Not Christ doing the thing. Christ is doing the thing through me, but I have to go through the thing for him to do the thing in me. So therefore, if I faint, Christ can't do his work. If I give up, Christ can't do his work. If I give in, Christ can't do his work. And sometimes we give in right before God is going to give us the victory. We give in right before we're about to break through. We give in right before God is about to bring the right person in your situation to propel you forward. We give in and we give up too quickly. We faint in the day of adversity. You know, it says, you shall reap if you faint not. In due season, you shall reap if you faint not. And some of us haven't made it to our due. Well, I see my neighbor made it to their due season. Looks like God always blessing them, but he don't never bless me. Maybe it's because you fainted too soon. Speaking to myself as well. If we give up too soon, God can't bring us the strength that's necessary to get through the adversity. See, we look at athletes. We look at those who from the bottom and they make it to the top. They the saying that getting it out the mud and all of these things that you would hear. But it's the grind. It's the sleepless nights. It's not giving in and not giving up. No one says it's going to be easy, but you have to push through. And it shows whether your strength. If you faint, that means your strength is small. That means I have to be strengthened. That means I have to work much. See, start out small. You don't have to see some of us just want to jump in the deep. Jump in the shallow water if you're not ready for the deep. But just jump out of something. Step out of something in faith. Find you a little thing to defeat so you can get your strength going. You don't start out with lifting weights. You're not gonna put 200 pounds on the bar and trying to push that up. You're gonna start out with 50 pounds. You're gonna start out with 20 pounds, 30 pounds. But you have to start somewhere. Come on, say I have to start somewhere. So I won't quit. I want to grow. I just want to just marinate on this point right here. And if you don't get anything else out of this lesson this week, you got two choices. You can either quit or you can grow. And if you are willing to grow, I'm telling you, there's benefits that's going to come for you in growing that you will not have been seen in your life. Ears haven't seen, eyes haven't heard, neither has entered into the heart of man the thing that God has for those who love him, who are willing to grow in him. The more we grow in the knowledge of who God is, the more purpose that he can. He said, look, there's no temptation that is not common to man. But God will, with the temptation, make a way of escape so that you can be able to bear it. So what that's telling me is God knows I'm going to grow them through this. I'm going to bring them through to another level through this. So let's go to back to Luke 22:31. And as we look at him having a desire to sift you, this is what we're going to end with in this lesson. He's sifting you to shift you. Sifting for shifting. In order to see, when you're shifting, is I'm moving from one location to another. I'm moving from one level to another. I'm moving from one speed to another speed. So the sifting is not to destroy me. The sifting is because it's shifting me to another level. In order to get to that level, I have to go through the sifting. The sifting brings a shaking. The shaking brings a shifting. And when I shift, I'm leaving all the things behind me. So look, it's the same as if the illustration of the sheep or the goat or whatever you want it to be that was in the pit, and somebody's trying to bury it. Every shovel of dirt that they throw in the pit, he was able to shake it off and put it under his feet until next you look, he had gotten himself out of the pit that he was in because of the dirt that was being thrown on him. See, that's the shifting and that's the shaking that's shifting you to the next level. And if you are ready to grow to the next level, God is willing to put the sifting in place in order for you to see to see him in a new realm, in a new light, and grow in the knowledge of him that you didn't see before, so he can bring you to a place of victory. God has been waiting for this moment for you to get you to that next level. We won't get to the next level. Sometimes we only look to God when things are going rough in our lives. When it's going good, we don't have time for him. But when adversity comes, that's when we get on our knees. That's when we seek him the most. That's when we look for answers. That's when we're searching out. And this is when he can get your attention to say, look what you have been missing out on. I'm not looking for you to quit and give up. I'm looking for you to grow and go up. And he's looking for you to do so through him. Come on, it's been a few months. Got to shake the dust off a little bit and get back to it. But if you just take this simple, don't quit, but choose to grow. And in order to grow through it, you got to go through it. Amen. God bless you. You have an awesome rest of your week, and we appreciate you for tuning in to this week's Midweek Medicine. God bless you. You have